So during last week's video, we did our hard start relay, and Jeff Rose and I started discussing something in the comment section on the last video. And, you don't have to do this, but it's a nice safety precaution just in case. Welcome back to the community, everybody, and thank you all for being part of it. I really appreciate that. If you'd like to leave a donation or purchase a t-shirt or stickers, slip down into the comments section. It's always appreciated. Today we're going to do part 2 of the hard start relay, but I'm also going to go over some fire tips and preventions for your battery, rear seat, things of that nature. I think it's time to get into it. Let's go. Now, don't forget the Sunday night live chats at 8 p.m. Eastern on the YouTube channel here. You just click the live tab on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, and you'll see me live, because look what we're giving away this week. Some donations from some club members sent in to do giveaways, so don't miss it. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of work with our hard start relay today. It's not something you have to do, but it's a nice addition for fire prevention. But before we do that, here's your back seat. Okay, you know what that is, and your battery goes underneath it. So what do we have here? We have metal rails. And when somebody is sitting in your back seat, okay, or you go back there and start sitting on it or leaning on it, these springs can go down and rest on top of your battery terminals. Yeah, not good. I'm going to show you how to prevent those issues, because what you have inside of here too is, some people call it horsehair. What Volkswagen actually used is coconut husk. Coconut husk. What a weird name. And it's kind of like bonded with rubber, not actual horsehair. And this is what was used for the seat padding. Hey, it was late 30s concept. The material was actually chosen for durability, which you got to admit, it did last for 60 years. And it gave you that long-lasting scent that everybody smells when they get into a VW. That's what you're smelling besides the vinyl. You're smelling the coconut husk that's in here. But what happens, once this heats up from the battery, you've shorted out your car, which starts a fire. And let me tell you, the coconut husk, aka horsehair to some folks, it'll start catching on fire. That's not something you want to do. So let's remedy that, and let's show you an extra safety fire prevention tip for your hard start relay, just in case somebody decides to do something dumb with them after they get the car and don't understand what they're seeing. So during last week's video, we did our hard start relay, and Jeff Rose and I started discussing something in the comment section on the last video. And you don't have to do this, but it's a nice safety precaution just in case somebody else, gets a hold of the car later and some kid starts stacking stuff under the back seat and then breaks this wire. If he does, there could be an issue. But I did want to explain the seat thing to you first with the battery. I'll show you what to do for $5 to remedy that. But what we're going to do today is put an inline fuse on it, and I'm going to show you where to put it for it to be most effective. So we're going to take this back apart quickly. I'll speed up some of the films, and I'm going to show you what to do to your battery and a couple other fire prevention tips. So let's do it. Okay, so before I show you where to put the inline fuse so it's most effective, don't forget to get a set of these. I couldn't get them, almost dropped them. These go over the battery terminals, okay? And I even ended up buying a whole new battery cable I'm going to put in, but I won't bore you with that because that one's older. It was cheap. I bought a new one to run to the back. But get these. They snap right over top of your terminals. And they protect the battery, so if the seat was to make contact with the battery terminals, you're not going to have a fire. So make sure to get these, slip them through, and they will sit right over top of your battery terminal. That's first thing. Now, what I like to do, and you don't have to get carried away like me, is take a piece of rubber, and I'm going to cut it to fit on top of the battery, and I'm going to lay a piece of rubber over top of the battery. Is it overkill? It probably is, but you can never do enough to prevent fire prevention. I'm doing a custom seat back here. I don't know if anybody's interested in watching that. I may film it, may not. But I'm still going to need that because I'm still going to make a seating area. The seats in a Volkswagen don't go flat when you fold the back of the seat down. So I'm still going to have a seating area and take prevention, but my seat's going to be lower profile, so it folds flat. My buddy Johnny came up with that one. May he rest in peace. We lost our administrator, our Facebook group, who passed away actually this past week. I had to bring that up. It's bothering me. But anyhow, you want to protect the springs from hitting the seats. So buy those terminal covers and maybe even a little piece of rubber over it. You can't go wrong. Okay, so what we're going to do here, and I'm going to bring you up close, we're going to go ahead and put an inline fuse. You don't have to do this. It's entirely up to you, but it's not a bad idea. All right, so last week we did the hot wire going over to the terminal, and I'm going to pull that apart. We're going to take this off of here, and we have our inline fuse. Now, I'm going to decide where to cut this. You want the fuse link or fuse, inline fuse, closer to the terminal as possible. So I'm going to do the best I can with what I have here, but oh, how do I want to do this? We're going to cut it about right there because I want it close to the battery. Okay, so I brought this to the workbench to make it a little easier first, but don't get anxious and leave because I'm going to show you what to do with that wire once it's on there. Okay, now, if you're not lazy like me, you could solder this, but I don't feel like dragging my stuff out. So, but by all means, give it a solder. But by all means, please use solder. That way it won't come apart. That's on there nice and tight. We're going to slip our heat shrink off, and I left the lighter in the car. Let that cool down for a second there. Now remember, you want this close to the battery, okay, this end here. Let me get my fitting on the other end to make things easy while I'm out here. And I am going to definitely go over a few things with fire prevention. That's what I am going to do. Just bear with me. And tight. And remember, solder these. I'm just not sitting there doing them on video. Not in the mood for it. All right. So we got our wire made up. Let's go in the car. Don't touch that when it's hot, just like I did. All right. We're going to take our yellow wire that goes to the battery. Let me put a connector. Oh, let's get our, let's see if this goes over top of that. Nope, we're going to use a bigger shrinker tube here. Pre-tip. And again, solder your wires. I know, I shouldn't be lazy. It's kind of like your dad telling you, do what I say, not what I do, type of thing. Okay. Let me speed up the film real quick. I'm going to shrink this. We went ahead and put that together, and we're going to talk about something else with this. Now, this is going to end up going onto your poop. You believe that? Okay, well, I'll unplug this and I'll drill the eyelet out a little bit. I'm not ripping the wiring all back apart to get onto the positive terminal. So that's where that's going to go. You are going to put a fuse in here. Do your own research. I'm going to run a 30 amp fuse. That's what I decided to run. So you're going to put your fuse in here, and of course it's going to go on there. Don't be an idiot like me. I didn't realize the outlet was a little too small, but not a big deal. I'll fix that. Now, here comes your wires. What I want to do is basically protect them. So what you can do is buy these, I call them wire looms, and put them over it. I'm sure you've seen these on cars clear back from the 80s. And you're going to put that over top of this. Give me 1 second here. So you get the point there. It was fighting with me. Go figure. This will go to the battery. Have a wire loom across it. What I'm going to end up doing, and I'm going to wait until I redesign my back seat, is I'm going to put this basically up against here and run it along there, or clamp it down so it can't move around. You don't want it flopping around. You know, that's what Jeff and I were discussing. So you want to secure it in place. You can put a little bracket there holding it down. You don't have to do this, but it's a good idea to do it. So you want to secure this wire, because the next guy that gets the car, if that happens and he starts throwing stuff on her, you're going to have an issue. So it's always good to secure out of the way and have a fuse on there. Put it on there and you're good to go. Now here is something else that came up on our group recently. Stop doing stupid things to your fuse box. Don't do that. You're going to have a fire. I've seen people take aluminum foil, wrap them around a fuse. Don't do that. You're going to overload the circuit and you're going to have a car burning. Don't put higher ones in, like 8 amp. Well, okay, it blew on me. I'll put a 16 amp in. Don't do that. You're going to overload the circuit and burn the car to the ground. Also, I seen a guy say, I fixed my problem. He had blue fuses all the way across. I think they're 25 amp. I'm almost certain, pretty sure. But you don't want to do that stuff. Do it accordingly to your owner's manual, okay? I'm just trying to look out for you folks. I don't want to see something bad happen and then you lose your car. They mostly are all white 8 amp fuses, and usually you'll have 2 red ones. But, you know, all of them are a little bit different. But don't substitute and think, I'll put a higher amp fuse in and then it won't blow no more. That's definitely the wrong thing to do. I'm not being a wise guy. I'm just trying to have your back. Now remember to keep in mind, so I did a video not a lot years ago about what to carry in your Volkswagen. If you'd like to see another one of them, I can do an updated version. Leave it in the comments if you do. But here's where I'm going with this. You always carry spare fuses with you, your white ones and your red ones. Now, when you do this hard start relay and you put a fuse on there, don't forget to carry the new style with you. Because if you don't and something happens and you pop a fuse, which is highly unlikely, that's just there in case somebody breaks that wire, it'll pop the fuse. But carry the extra fuses with you. Do your own research. I'm going to run a 30. You might run a 25. You might want to run a 20 or a 22.5. There's no such size. But please be cautious, okay? You're wiring under your trunk. Clean it all up nice and neat. Don't make it look like a big bowl of spaghetti. I like spaghetti. You know, have it look nice and neat. Go over your wiring. Make sure everything is proper. You don't need fire. Okay, let's talk about a couple things, 30 seconds, and I'm going to let you get back to what you're doing. As you know, I've been asking people to send in photos of their car, club members, to put at the end of each video. Let's check Ronnie's out real quick, and I'm going to tell you a few things and close out. Thanks, Ron. That is a beautiful car. I got to see that in person. It has 10,000 original miles on it. Wow. That's a dream car. There's no doubt. And I consider him a friend. He don't live that far from me. Okay, so what's coming up? Sunday night live chat at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're doing our giveaway. I try to do them when possible, but I always do the live chat every week. So please join in on that. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the dash. The weather's starting to break a little bit. I did get all the holes plugged in the dash since we're converting from a padded dash to a metal dash. So we're going to get lots done now that the weather's breaking a little bit. I'll be able to do a little bit of paint work. Everybody, have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern.